Prepared, so I'll start off. PFC Paul Balint Jr. is a great soldier and friend of the men of the Wild Knights Platoon, Bulldog Company, and the Bushmasters. He reported to the company in February this year as we began our intensive train-up in preparation for deployment. His platoon assimilated him right away because he was a superior infantryman. He took pride in his position, maintaining his saw impeccably. After the company spent an exhausting 45 days between Grafenbeer and Hohenfeld's training areas, we started looking forward for when and where we'd end up in support of the global war on terror. Our parent battalion, the Blue Spaders, deployed several weeks before us. We were task organized with the Steel Tiger Battalion, with whom we'd worked so closely for the prior 6 months. As our departure grew nearer and tensions rose, PFC Balint was never without a smile. In fact, he's known as the guy who always had an ear-to-ear grin on his face. It was one of the few certainties at the time. And being so camera-friendly, there's no end to the corroborating evidence. Finally, after months of rumors, we left Schweinfurt, Germany, for Camp Buren, Kuwait, where we'd spend the next month. Our future still unknown, we continued to prepare. Every day, platoon leaders submitted pictures of the day's training. These drumbeats highlighted the professionalism and motivation of individual soldiers in all our training. For those of you who are unfamiliar with Dagger standards, each photo is scrutinized by commanders and their staffs from company to brigade to guarantee those soldiers who represent the entire unit, who are families in the chain of command, are the epitome of what a Dagger Brigade combat team soldier is. PFC Balint has represented nearly every 1st Platoon drumbeat. In these often candid action photos, PFC Balint was always in the correct uniform, always giving 100%, always exceeding the training standards, and always motivated. He and the Wild Knights platoons were ready. At long last, the Steel Tiger Task Force was assigned to Camp Ramadi, but once again, the Bushmasters had the difficult mission to task organize further. We replaced a company who had a platoon split from them to support an adjacent unit. I had the unpleasant responsibility to choose a platoon with whom we trained for the last 9 months to work for another commander. The first sergeant and I struggled with the decision about which platoon to designate. We had to remember the brigade battalion commander's guidance. Send your best, you have to make it hurt. That being the case, 1st Platoon, Bravo 126, must be about the strongest platoon in Iraq. I was never concerned about how well they performed without the Bushmasters, but how well we perform without them. And although the Bulldog Company has been fighting in Ramadi since May and was seasoned with combat experience, Captain Baima told me PFC Balint quickly made a name for himself with the other veterans as a tough warrior. He was quick to volunteer for the most challenging missions and always looked out for the safety of his buddies. In closing, I know the hardest thing for the men of 1st Platoon is continuing the mission they started with PFC Balint, finding the terrorists who were responsible for attacking the innocent people of Iraq and the United States soldiers sent to protect them. Although it's difficult, I know this is the best way to honor it. When the mission is complete, we'll spend the remaining years remembering the best of times with PFC Balint and mourning his loss.
I'm Spencer Bone. When I first saw this guy, I was like, wow, he had a great personality, funny guy, he was motivated. Nathan, great soul, great soul. It's like, you never know how much you know the person until you got him. All the people here got mad love for him. So y'all know that we do feel y'all hurt out here. Just keep it strong.
Going to his family and everybody else here, and everybody. All right, Balint. You hear a lot of things, and I'm not saying this is Balint's passed away from us, but Balint is probably one of the best soldiers I've had. I mean, there's few numbers of people I can count on one hand that I'll remember from my photography military career. Balint's one of those guys. He came in, and there's not a person in here, whether the situation dictates or not, there's not a person in here that won't tell you that he was one of the best soldiers of the platoon. Plain and simple, it's a fact. All right, Balint joined the military out of patriotism. He joined the military to change his life and to make his parents proud. He constantly talked about his family, always. I mean, even in the videos that his family's going to get, and I have, so you all can see it. He talked about his families all the time. Half his videos, it was about his family. Hey, this is going to my mom, this is going to my uncle, this is going to my brother, you know, and half the freaking videos, all right? Excellent soldier, outstanding, all right? We've sat around and talked about him for hours and hours, and there's not one negative comment I've ever heard about the soldier, ever. I have never seen a negative comment. I've never seen a negative bone in this guy's body, ever. And if you guys want to remember Paul Balint and you want to do what is right for Paul Balint, it's what I've talked to you about before. We go out there, we continue to do our job, we make, and we do not let a rat falter and slide to the side. We build upon it, and we don't let Paul Balint just slip away into the breeze. We make him part of the history of Iraq, all right? And we help the best we can. Don't do anything you know, we should not be doing out there in trying to get any type of retribution, anything like that for him, all right? Because you're not going to do anything for him. You're just going to end up hurting yourselves and hurting his memory, all right? So let's continue to do what we're doing, do it right, and remember for all the good that he did, and try to emulate that. Okay?
Gentlemen, Dave, most of you may not know me. You haven't seen me for months. But I have your first off. I had planned on coming out and seeing this routine a little while back. I guess some issues that come with kind of prevented me from coming out here. Obviously, this is not the how we want to all meet back together, okay? But we're together again. We'll be together again back in Germany, get back. All the stories that were told today by your Peters, our Naval, Clark, or Menta are all things that we will live through when we get back to Germany. Okay. Obviously, every memory, everything's been said out here has been a fond one. All right. To go along with what Sergeant Bear said, to go along with the words you said this morning. Okay. And that's the way you remember people. Okay. Remember the best times. All right. And world according to Balint is there is no bad times, it's all good times. Right? Now obviously I didn't have as much of a impact that we're doing as well because as a first sergeant, you know, we don't know anything. I have to like find information out of people. Okay, this isn't, they don't offer it to people. Okay. But with Balint, every time I see him in the hallway or if I was working with a lady with a CQ desk, you know, I'd say something to him, it's always as moved as he is. Ever saying he's always comfortable. Okay, all right, and that's the way I remember him. The colonel and the sergeant major, both brigade and battalion, were able to be here today. They still may come in. I don't know. They're scheduled to come, weather, whatever, kept them coming. All right. I know they had been here. They had also presented a Balint with a coin. Now, this is my coin. The colonel shot at me before. I'm going to give it to Balint, send back to his parents. Very special thing because I've been coined coming out of the shower by a sergeant kid. So the history of the coins is if you're coined by another individual who has one, you owe them a beer. Well, I got a lot of beers to buy when I get back. I don't have one. But Balint always seemed to have enough for everybody. But give the blue spitter coin on behalf of the battalion, all right? And I'll also put some rank down, even though you probably would have surpassed me. And that is a great soldier.
There's a lot of guys that want to be out here today and continue to fight. And we just, man, pretty good. I was the only one chosen to come because I knew I'm the best about the team. I really had some fun times with them. a special trip, and I can guarantee you that it was the greatest experience and journey that he's had so far. And he's one of a kind guy. To his parents, to his brother, to his family. His man is one of a kind. It's piercing gratitude for anything that he's ever done. Surpasses anything that's ever been created. My love goes out to him. My love be with you. God be with you. I give him my Lord and Savior. Because I love him. For all I love him too.
Today's been a pretty crappy day, so I'm trying to lighten it up. I'll tell you a funny story about Balint. First, you guys know I was Balint's first squad leader. Met him in grad, little skinny kid sitting by his mom and his weapon. And I just prayed everywhere. And all you guys know, times he blossomed. He opened up to everybody. Not a single one of you could say that you weren't friends. And I'm just one of those guys that he draws you in, you can't get away from him. Funny story is, we invited him over to barbecue. And I have a son. He was sitting on the floor, and he does good. He's the guy. I met him and said, one day he's drinking on the couch, and my son's like, eh. So Balint did his thing. Eh. And him and my son had like an hour-long conversation, and only those two understood. And my son back and forth. It's one of those things you'll never forget. You'll probably never see again. So I just want to let him know.
My name is PFC and I want to first by saying that to his family, Balint loved you more than anything. To his pops, I had a lot of talk with Balint, and I talked with Sergeant Combs, one of his NCOs, Tower Guard, and we came to the realization that he was really sorry for what he did. And I know he wanted to tell you in person that he couldn't wait for R&R. But he loved you all. Loved all the moments you guys shared, especially when Pops and Balint would have their late night snacks. He often talked about his family and how proud he was for being in the Army, how proud his dad was of him. And gonna miss him, we're all gonna miss him. He was all our friends. He's the reason why the flag stands where it's at today. However, I want to end by telling a few stories so that you get an idea of what he was like. The first real cool story I have of Balint, again, was in Grafton, Owensville. When we were at Tower Guard. And there were 177 guys that were there. We were always late by at least an hour. So it was dark, and not knowing who we were, we told them to drop. And Balint rolled them. Snow was at least to your knees, and you rolled them around in there. Told them not to be late again. He asked who the platoon sergeant was, and I played in with it and yelled at him too. Said some things I shouldn't. But that next time they were leaving us, they were 20 minutes early. We were so happy for that. Another cool story I have at Balint was every time in formation, we'd always go, and there would be Balint. because you can't move in formation. He tried to, I don't know, with a pearl or whatever the word is. And one time we actually got him to do it in formation, and everyone laughed at me. He was embarrassed. And I got one more cool story. It's kind of a little off the subject, but I know you have a good laugh because I know all about you because of the way he talked about you. But there's a guy on a platoon named Stoller. We're at Sergeant Abel's at the barbecue playing Halo. And Stoller fell asleep on Balint's lap. And he kept cuddling with him. And so Balint would say stop, so wake him up. And Stoller's a big guy, hard to wake up. So he still kind of cuddled with him. And then without even thinking, Balint said, check this junk out. He lifted up, and I guess you could say he farted on Stoller's face. And he was really angry when he woke up and found out what we did. There's not one of us without a cool story about him. Not one of us without these stories of him being a hard worker. Because he is, everyone knows it. We all have stories of him. I just felt that you needed to know that he loved you guys. And he loved us just as much. That's the way he was. You're gonna miss him. And I am deeply, deeply sorry.
Mr. and Mrs. Balint, PFC Stoller. We got a story when we were short on Bradley drivers or Bradley crews. Balint was one of the first volunteers or do whatever. So one night, me and Sergeant Caldwell and Balint got chose to go on a dagger mission, and Balint was gunning for Sergeant Caldwell. It was a really cold night. There was 2 dagger missions going on at the same time. One dagger mission went down, they lost a vehicle, so we got chosen to go on both the dagger missions, 8 hours long. So the heater didn't work at 7-track, so we were all freezing balls, and the only thing to keep us warm and keep us motivated was Sergeant Caldwell and Balint, rhyming along and keeping the mood set. So going 2 miles an hour for 8 hours straight kind of get you bored. So Balint, telling jokes and spitting flows, if you say, kept us all motivated to go. But Balint's a great guy. I'm gonna miss him.
Mr. and Mrs. Balint, Sergeant Caldwell. I'd just like to thank you guys for the wonderful job you did in raising him to be such a good man. I miss walking through the barracks. I used to come into the barracks on the weekends and go in his room and see him sitting there playing his guitar. And he'd be trying to play a song and I'm horrible at playing the guitar, but I just sit there and we'd play and we'd just suck together. It was pretty funny. And he was my jump gunner in the last draft rotation that we went through, and I'm just going to miss all the stories he told me. I could always count on him keeping me awake, especially on the missions that we did here in Iraq, when he'd go along with my gunner. He'd just tell these stories, and he'd keep me awake, and I could always count on him for lighting me a smoke. So he'd be sitting there, and I'd look down, he'd look at me, and pull 2 smokes out, put them in his mouth, and light them both at the same time. He's going to be missed. Thanks for the great job you guys did with him.
Mr. and Mrs. Balint, my name is PFC Hackett. I'm probably one of Balint's best friends, if not the best friend. I hung out with him all the time. Whenever he gets back in the rear, go anywhere I went, always count on him being there. From anywhere to go to Warspring Castles, to the clubs, to the female's house, whatever. He always had women around, more than 1 or 2. I met him the first time when we was out at Craft, just like everyone else here. He's in my squad at first, and everything ended up getting switched around. But he always talked about how great a family he had. And me being a close friend, like, you always have people in the Army. You're always great friends, but you get out, you know you're never going to see them again. It's just how it works. Some of them you might, most of them you won't. Well, I can guarantee I was going to see him again. And that's one of those things, I was guaranteed to come see you. So, you know, I was really excited to come meet his family. He's going to come meet mine. And just some of the best times of my life was with him. It's going to be hard without him. So,
I'm PFC Eric. Just got a little funny story for you guys for memory of Balint. It's a simple story, but it's kind of funny, guys. You can like that. I walk into Hacker's room, which is where Balint usually was, even when I was Hacker kid, and John's was sitting over here. And I come in and I see Hacker and Balint just sitting there cuddling against each other like they were spooning or something like that. Quite hilarious. Yeah, one thing he used to always call me, he used to say that military brats have to stick together. So I guess both his pops was in the military, my dad's in the military. One thing I used to always call him was a Spaniard. That's his nickname. He used to say he was half Spanish all the time. I always told him that he was Mexican. Sorry for your loss, really. We're all like family here. You know, today, a couple weeks ago, we lost a brother. But,
all right, about the whole spoon thing. We'd been in my room all night. You know, we've been hanging out, playing video games, playing on the internet, just looking at random stuff, whatever. Drank a little bit, and I have to fall asleep on my bed. I wake up the next morning, he's laying right beside me. Joe, what the hell are you doing? Hurt what I'm saying. You guys are fat. It was alright.
Sounds like Brokeback.
I know I was up already, but I got this really funny story with Balint and his guitar. There's this guy in the second platoon who in the same barracks, his name is John McManus. He could actually play the guitar and he can sing halfway decent. And so Balint would call this girl because he wanted to impress somebody, because we all knew how he played. He couldn't impress us that much. But he called this girl, I forgot if she was German or American. And he made this guy, he told this girl he was going to play the guitar while his friend John McManus sings. Anyway, in the background, she was like, oh, that's terrific. And Balint wasn't doing nothing, he was just sitting on the computer and just John McManus going plays. I don't know how he pulled that one off or what happened with her, but she thinks he can play the guitar now, so he don't ask, he can play the guitar.
PFC was Sacramento. My buddy Balint was a really good dude and everything. I used to spit flows with him. But he was over here too. And my roommate was actually John McManus. And we tried to play the guitar a lot. Always had a smile. Doesn't have a smile on my face. It's like that dude, but always made people laugh. Very great guy. Thanks for that.
We were back in garrison back in Schwantford, and we would be done with all of our work for the day. We'd go ahead and get off, like first round to release us. We would do some tactical training using a Halo simulation. So there'd be four of us in the guns room, we'd be playing Halo. Balint was one of those guys where you could kill him and he'd get really mad and he'd throw the powder, "Come out here!" and he'd walk out and he'd come back and get that one kill and he'd be so excited, "That's my junk!" And he'd kill him like 4 more times, he'd walk back out of the room and he'd come back. That was Balint. He was always like that. Make you run into his missiles. Crazy guy, I never knew what to expect. I got one more that involves him and the guitar. It was over at a barbecue, I think it was like the second to last one I had. And Young was there, McManus, Armena, and a bunch of other people. And we're all hanging out, and it's like 2 in the morning. And I had these 2 guitars I brought them out, and Young and McManus were playing them. They're playing really good, and he comes out of nowhere, and he's mixing country with rap. For some reason, it sounded good at the time, but now that I think about it, it wasn't that good, but it was just fun. He thought he could sing blues, jazz, and just go to town. Then he'd get on the guitar and just ruin everything. It was just funny. He never stopped smiling, even when he couldn't play the guitar. He thought he was the shit, and he was.
Hey guys, we need to, if anybody else has anything else you want to say, I know we talked for about the last 30 minutes, but we need to start wrapping up. We need to get some guys eat and then back to Doc. So if anybody else has anything to say, now's the chance to say it.
My name is PFC Tharp. I just want to say, Mr. and Mrs. Balint, Paul was one of the greatest people I've ever met. Since the first day I met him, we were waiting for our bus to Basic. He was really nervous. He was sitting by himself. And I walked up to him and I said, "Hi, my name's Randy." He said, "My name's Paul." And I said, "Whoa, you forget your name?" He's like, "Oh man, I just stutter sometimes when I'm nervous." I was like, "That's cool. It's all right." And since then, we were really, really close in Basic. He motivated me through a lot of stuff that just would have sucked without him. I was his platoon guide, and whenever he got in trouble because him and I were friends, drill sergeant would make me be the one to do all the push-ups. And drill sergeant would be asking Paul a question. He'd talk to the drill sergeant like this. The drill sergeant would be like, "What's that, Frank? What's up?" And he'd be like, "Yeah." Then the drill sergeant would be like, "Tharp, do push-ups." Paul would laugh at me and say, "You just make me stronger." and he made me stronger, not only physically, but mentally. That guy showed me a personality that I've never seen before in a friend. And he loved my family. My wife and 2 daughters loved him to death. They loved him coming over. So he would always play with my daughter. And my wife just said he was one of the realest people you'd ever meet. There's nothing fake about Paul. Those kind of qualities are not just what you make up. It's instilled upon you from birth from your parents. Good job. And I love him. Thank you guys.
Got another funny story about when we were here in Iraq. When we first got here, we were real short on the supplies that we needed. You know, blankets, pillows, and all that. When we came back here, and he buys something, he's so happy that he got it. He bought this simple little water heater. That was the coolest thing. Oh, look at this, man, I got this water heater. All right, cool, it heats up water. Come on, man, you ain't got one. He's so mad. Purposely put it down just so you can see what kind of reaction you get. He bought a mattress, well, that's a little foam mattress. So he was so willing to put that thing on his back, and he tried to put it in his cargo pocket first to hold it up. He's like, "Well, I don't know where I'm going to put this. I don't know." It's like, put it in the Humvee. No, I can't. Someone take it. Someone take it. I was like, everyone else has got one, man. Come on. He's like, "No, but put it in my pocket." Tried to put it in his pocket, didn't work. Tried to put it in his assault pack, didn't work. Finally, put it in the Humvee and he returned to the cop safely. You see, that was the first thing he got though when he came back. Jumped off the Bradley, he's like, "Where's my mat? Where's my mat?" Opened up every Humvee, finally found it, took it up to his room, forgot about everything else. He was always happy. You know, even like he'd sit there and he'd be mad at you, you know, "Oh," you know, mad, and stop. You know, he's a great guy. He'll truly be missed where we go.
All right, guys, 2 minutes. One.
Mr. and Mrs. Balint, my name is Staff Sergeant Fox. I'm 3rd Squad leader. Got a funny story about Paul back in April after we came back from our field rotation and grabbed the one fellows. I went home to Texas. I'm also from Texas. And I lost my ID card. Boston Beach. So being slick, I used to be a recruiter. I went to the reserve center and got another one made. Well, my wife, well, then fiance, decided she was going to come back with me to Germany. So after the long flight over the ocean, long, crappy train ride from Frankfurt, we get to the front gate, and because I have a new ID card and it wasn't in the security system, I couldn't sign my then fiance on the post. She was pretty angry with me. I told her to wait here at the gate. I'm going to go. I'm going to fix this. I walk into the barracks. The first guy I found was Paul. Wasn't even noon yet. He was drinking beer. It was like our last day of leave. And I said, hey, I need you to do a favor for me. You need to sign my girlfriend on post. Well, you can imagine the grin on his face. I told him it's not like that. But that's just the kind of guy he was. He said, sure, Sergeant, I'll help you out. He walked to the gate with me and signed her on. He's the one and only guy that's ever going to sign my wife on post. But he was there for me when I needed him. I was also there the day he fell. And I can honestly say that I saw a lot of courage from everybody that was on that patrol to do the best we could for him. And we'll never forget him. Never. Thank you.
Mr. Balint, I'm Sergeant. I worked with Paul right after the field rotation. I worked with him then too, but he was cross-attached and I moved around a lot, so I didn't get to work with him then. And I feel really bad now that I didn't get a chance to hang out with him as much before we got here as we did when we were down here. He's a really great guy to be around, and I only have one real time I went out with him. I went out with everybody. Everybody kind of rallied around him because he was by far the drunkest out of everybody before we even left. But he was just contagious. He just walked around everybody's room. Hey, you guys coming out to the club with us? It's RT Smiley coming out with us. So, and we had a blast out there. He kept trying to pull me out on the dance floor. I wasn't there drunk enough to go out there with him and do everything he was trying to get me to do. But it was a blast. It was one of the funnest times I've ever had at the club, with him and everybody else there. And now that looking back, I really wish that I would spend more time with him instead of, going home at the end of the day. But I just want to let you guys know that there's nobody here that doesn't miss him already and will for the rest of